All right, welcome back to the Bettor Half Hour. Desk out. Sean Little into the bet exchange. Sean, huge weekend in the NBA, man.
Yeah, it never ends in the NBA. It's always entertainment, always something going on leading into the All-Star break. We thought we were just going to cruise in. Not the case.
Not the case, and we still got some trade deadline to go, but let's start out with this Kyrie huge trade to Dallas. How does this affect the East?
I think it affects the East in a major way. I know in the last segment you were talking about you were shocked at how much the numbers moved around. I wasn't that surprised. Wow. I mean, Kyrie was going to carry those guys. We weren't worried about KD going down because, Kyrie will do what he does, and he'll carry them till KD gets back. How do they beat the three teams in front of them, even potentially the Cavaliers, who we'll get to in a bit? They're not beating those guys without Kyrie and a very healthy Kevin Durant. That was a question before. Now that he's gone, it's an even bigger question. I would avoid betting on Nets futures going forward. I'm completely off the Nets now.
Now, does it give you any leeway? You're seeing odds shift above them. Sixers off a rough L, of course, to our Knicks, and then Bucks and Celtics ahead. Does it make you feel more conviction about the top three?
Well, before the trade, to me, it was a top four. Four teams had a legitimate chance to win the East. Right. Now I do believe there's a top three with the sleeper. I believe that the Cavaliers are even a better chance to win the East than the Nets. So that's where I'm at right now. This is we know people don't like Kyrie and all the when this was the first stretch we got to see him and Durant actually focus on playing basketball. They looked sensational.
They did. Pack
all that up. It's not happening anymore. So I don't think they have a chance.
Well, staying on Kyrie going to Dallas, is this Luka's best chance, at least in his young career here, to win a ring?
Absolutely. So far, this is absolutely his best chance to win an NBA championship or win the West. Now, the West is wide open. That's why I say that. That's the biggest key here. Because early on in his career and earlier seasons, we knew he would compete, but the Warriors were cruising, right? The Phoenix Suns were from the onset last year one of the best teams in the NBA.
Right.
Now we're talking about the Nuggets. We're talking about a couple different people. I believe the Mavs should not be done. They should go add more pieces to help Luka. Kyrie, go add a big. I got a couple guys I would love to see on the Dallas Mavericks. Matisse Thybulle, go get him. They have no one that wants to play defense. Go get Jay Crowder.
Good point.
He wants to play defense. Bossman 99 is willing to do the little things. Now, if you really want to get a little crazy, I have some names on this card here, Alex Monaco, that I think would potentially have them in a spot to win the championship.
Talk to me.
Go get Pascal Siakam. If he's truly on the trade block, like a lot of people in Toronto say, a lot of things would have to happen for that move, that piece, to fall in their lap. A lot of picks would have to move. You'd have to package up quite a bit of people, Christian Wood, a couple other folks. But when someone's for sale, that means they're for sale. Go get them. Do whatever you have to do. And then what about DeAndre Ayton? We know he's unhappy in Phoenix.
True.
They are potentially another team that could be sellers. CP3 getting old. Book is book, but that's the guy you keep and retool around. Go get DeAndre Ayton. Go get a big, someone else that you can add with go get some D, go get a big, and then Luka, Kyrie, and the Mavericks are dangerous.
I like what you're putting down. All right, let's talk a little more into the futures. Now, there hasn't been both one seeds facing off since the Cavs and the Warriors back in 2015-16. What is the likelihood either of these one seeds at the moment get to the finals?
I like what the Nuggets are doing, but I'd have more confidence in the Boston Celtics on the Eastern Conference side of the ball. Now, they're very top-heavy. We just talked about it. The Celtics, the Bucks, those are the top two guys. I think I lean Boston because this is going to be their second time around. Right. They got to the finals last year. They lost to the Warriors. They just weren't ready. That addition of Malcolm Brogdon is really going to shine through in the playoffs. And they just overall in the East, I believe, have a softer road. I like the Celtics to get there before the Nuggets.
I like it. And speaking of all those names you just dropped down, if there is anyone to be dealt or there isn't, is there a sleeper team you're sitting out there looking at from a values perspective?
Yeah, I would say a team that's fallen out of favor is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Plus 1,000 to win the East is something I would keep an eye on. They have the trees down low to deal with Giannis and Embiid and Mobley and Allen. More games, they continue to build up chemistry. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, those guys can score, and they're deep. Karis LeVert, we got Osman, Love, Rubio now is back in the fold off the bench. You need a veteran-laden point guard like him. The Cleveland Cavaliers are second in point differential per game in the East at 4.9.
Wow.
The Celtics are first at 5.8. So they're right there. Plus 1,000. They haven't played too well in the last, I would say, month or so. but they could get rolling here the back half. I would bet that number starts to close and get a little shorter than plus 1,000 for the Cleveland Cavaliers to win the East.
I like that. And last but not least here, Jokic. We've only had a number of back-to-back-to-back MVPs here.
Yeah.
If he stays healthy, does he run away with us again?
What do you know? We're right back to where we were last year when we were talking about Jokic or Embiid. Now, Embiid is going to score some points purely off last year. There's people that thought he could have won the MVP award. Now, we'll see if Joel Embiid continues to play the way he's playing, but the Nuggets continue to play the way they're playing and end up with the number 1 seed in the West, I believe Jokic is going to get the award because now you want to talk about the numbers he's going to put up, the efficiency. He's still almost shooting 60. He's shooting 68% from 2, Jokic. Like, the efficiency that he's been putting up has been crazy. So, if they continue to win, and they're the number 1 in the West, Jokic will get it. But I see Embiid keeping the pressure on the entire season, similar to what we saw last year.
There it is. A little this, a little that. Chicago Flow on the gram. Make sure you throw him some love.